Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear student. My name is Dr. Sabah Haider. I am PhD in botany. Now I am working as a lecturer in Government Degree Girls College, Buffer Zone. Today my lecture is taking from the chapter number 5, Variety of Life, and my lecture topic is virus. All of you familiar with the words virus because nowadays it is very hot topic. First of all, we discuss what is virus. The word virus is derived from Latin word veno, which meaning poison, and the study of the virus is known as virology. A virus is a submicroscopic infectious agent. What's the meaning of this? This means that virus cannot seen by the naked eye, cannot seen by the light microscope. Virus only visible, and you can see virus only by using the electron microscope, or you know that electron microscopes have a higher magnification power, and that's why virus is very minute and only can be seen by help of the electron microscope, and that's why it's called the submicroscopic infectious agent. Infectious means they cause the disease. And second important thing about the virus is that replication. Bacteria also replicate, but virus replication is distinguished from the bacteria. Why? Because virus only replicate inside the living things, inside the living cells. Without host, no replication. Virus cannot grow. Virus cannot replicate. Now we come to the history of the virus. How the virus discovered? What is the discovery of the virus? The discovery of the virus is very interesting things because at that time many pioneer biologists worked on the bacterial disease, and they discovered many bacterial disease, but some disease confused them because these diseases were not caused by the bacterial action, like the tobacco mosaic disease, which are caused in the tobacco plants. Mostly in the leaves, mosaic like patches occur on the leaves, and this disease is known as tobacco mosaic disease. But these diseases were not caused by the bacteria. They cause another special infectious agent which are not visible at that time, because at viruses, you know, that cannot visible in light microscope. You can see virus only by help of the electron microscopes. So at that time biologists become confused, or in 1892 another Russian biologist, Ivanovsky, also discovered the many diseases which were not caused by the bacteria, but these diseases was caused by the special infectious agent. So he gave the name virus. And Ivanovsky in 1900 also discovered the similar disease, many other similar disease which were caused by the virus. And at that time Ivanovsky also pointed out one important characteristics of the virus is that virus were filterable while the bacteria not filterable. And later on Martinez Beijerinck also demonstrate many new forms of the filterable infectious agent, and he also give another important point is that virus can multiply only in living thing, only in living cells. So this is the very important point, because virus cannot replicate, cannot multiply outside the cells, outside the living cells, or in non-living cells. They become dead, they will be dead. Okay, after the invention of electron microscope in 1935, Wendell Stanley have been proved these infectious particles, which is now known as viruses, and also discovered many other viruses using the electron microscopes. So we can say that Wendell Stanley have been proved previous theories. So it's a very important work done after the invention of electron microscope. Now we come to the characteristics of the viruses. Viruses are non-cellular organisms. Non-cellular organism means they cannot contain cellular component like the plasma membrane, like the cytoplasm, like the cell organelles and nucleus. They only consist of protein coats and nucleic acid, and that's why they are called viruses are non-cellular organisms. And second thing is obligate parasite. Virus is obligate parasite, means they cause the disease. We know that bacteria are also the beneficial. They not only, all the bacteria not only cause the disease, but viruses are obligate parasite. They cause the disease. First thing about the virus. And second things, they cannot live and reproduce outside the living cells. It means that the virus occur in borderline between the living and non-living. Third one is virus is vary in size. It ranges diameters is from 20 nanometers to 250 nanometers. And the largest virus diameter is about 500 nanometers. It means virus is very minute in size, and that's why they cannot seen without the electron microscope. Viruses are virulent and some are temperate, and the viruses have the adhesion properties. One important interesting thing about the virus is that virus, when stick by help of the protein coat with the host body, they only enter the nucleic acid. Protein coat cannot enter, only nucleic acid enter. You know that the virus inner core is nucleic acid, which is surrounded by the protein coat, and this protein coat is capsid, and capsid doesn't enter into the body of the host cells. Only nucleic acid enter into the host cells, and where the virus use the enzymes of the host cells and produce the protein coats and start their genes replications. And virus totally depends on the host cells machinery to continue their life. In this slide, we discuss the structure of the virus. There is wide diversification. in the shape and sizes of the virus. Morphologically, there are great variety, or there are many different types of the viruses, like the sphere-shaped virus, rod-shaped, tadpole-like virus, icosahedral virus, helical-like virus, and so many different type of virus in shapes, where you know that the size is varies 20 to 250 nanometers. A complete viral particle, virus particle, is known as viron. Or you know that virus consists of viral genome, and you know that this is the nucleic acid, and these nucleic acid sometimes consist of single or sometimes consist of several molecules of DNA. All of you know that nucleic acid is surrounded by a protective shield of protein, which is known as a capsid, but these proteins are identical, are similar, and that's why subunits known as capsomers. Now we come to the another structure. Some viruses have some extra structure, some additional structure. Not all viruses. Some viruses have additional structure, which is known as viral envelope, and these viral envelope made up lipids. And you can say that this viral envelope is modified form of cell membrane. And some viruses also have the some extra structure. For example, some viruses possess a capsid, and that is neither purely helical or nor purely icosahedral. Why? Because they have the some extra structure, and these extra structure called as tail fibers, and these tail fiber dominantly seen in my bacteriophage. You can see in bacteriophage these tail fiber lower side. Now we come to the classification of the virus. All of you know that different types of virus on the basis of the morphology. So generally the virus is classified by help of the two ways. First way is morphology, and second way is the nucleic acid. Morphology, you know that virus divided into rod-shaped viruses, tadpole-like virus, spherical virus, icosahedral virus, helical-like virus. The first way of classification of the virus is the morphology, and second way is a nucleic acid. There is wide diversification in the classification of virus. Here we provide systematic idea of some of the diversity under the 8 main heading. First heading is unenveloped plus strength RNA virus. Why it's called unenveloped plus strength RNA virus? Students, it is unenveloped, and that's why it's called the unenveloped. It means that virus does not covered by the envelope, first thing, and second, the nucleic acid is made of RNA, and that's why it's called the RNA virus. And why it's called the plus strength RNA virus? Because they act directly as a messenger RNA, and they affected the host and entered the host, and they attach to the host ribosomes and being translate and produce on type of RNA, and that's why it's called the plus strength RNA virus. And these virus is also known as poliovirus and rhinovirus, and they cause the disease polio and cold in human beings, and these virus also infected plants as well as bacteria. Second heading is envelope plus strength RNA virus. It means it is envelope, and you know that envelope is made of a lipids, and lipids layer around the virus. First thing in second heading, and second, nucleic acid obviously made of RNA, and that's why it's called the envelope plus strength RNA virus. These virus is commonly known as hepatitis A and C viruses. They cause the hepatitis A and C in human beings and also cause the yellow fever in human. Third heading is minor strength RNA. Obviously, nucleic acid is made of RNA. That's why I call the RNA virus. But why it's called the minor strength RNA virus? Because they carry the RNA strand complementary to the messenger RNA and must be converted to the positive sense RNA by RNA polymerase before translation. It means that the purified minor strength RNA virus is not infectious by itself, as it needs to convert it to a positive sense RNA for replications. And these minor strength RNA also called as rhabdovirus and poxvirus. And they infected plants as well as animals and human beings. They cause flu, mumps and rabies. Now we come to the third type of virus, retrovirus. Retro means backward. Why is called the retrovirus? A virus is replicated in host cells via enzyme reverse transcriptase to produce DNA from its RNA genomes, and that's why it's called the retrovirus. Understand? What's the meaning of the retrovirus? Retrovirus means a virus replicate in the host cells by help of the enzymes, but by the process of reverse transcriptations, and then produce DNA from its own RNA. It means that insert a copy of its genome into a DNA of the host cells and changing the genome of that host cells. And the new DNA is not cooperated into the host cell genomes. It treats as a viral DNA and producing the protein which required for the formation of new copies of virus. And the retrovirus also the envelope virus. And retrovirus also may be single strength RNA and double strength DNA virus. Now we come to the fifth one, double strength RNA virus. Double strength RNA virus infected the plants, animals and as well as human beings. They are icosahedral RNA virus. Number 6 virus, small genome DNA virus. Small genome DNA virus means many DNA viruses have a small genome. Some of these viruses have single strand DNA and some viruses have the double strand DNA, but mostly these viruses have single strand DNA. And they are also the icosahedral in shape, and they infected animals and also human beings. Now we come to the 7th heading, medium genome and large genome DNA virus, and these viruses cause the cancer in human beings and pox in human beings. Now we come to the last one, bacteriophage. What's the meaning of the bacteriophage? It's a type of the bacteria? No, it is a virus which infected the bacteria, which infect the bacteria and replicate inside the bacterial body. So that's why it's called the bacteriophage, and they are tadpole-like, and a long DNA molecule is coiled within the head, and this is called bacteriophage virus. Dear students, my lecture is finished. Inshallah, I will give you another lecture on the topic of life cycle of bacteriophage. Thank you for watching and listening and taking my class.